BMRforum.com and BMRodds.com, boys. What is going on? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 89 of The Lobby. I can't believe it. A couple more weeks here, and we will be in 2025. We say it each and every year. Where did this year go? But we definitely appreciate having each and every one of you along for the ride. But as always, our esteemed cast of Drew here, Mr. Sam's in charge. What's up, Sammy?
What's going on, Bobby? Got another week, another ugly sweater. Today we got Santa smoking a bowl, so that's what we're rocking today.
All right.
It's been out rainy in upstate New York, but again, it's early December, and this rain could easily be 6 to 12 inches of snow. So
Right.
I'll take the 40 degrees in pouring rain over 12 inches of snow and lot work videos and wasting a whole day cleaning the lot. So on to action tonight with the Knicks.
Okay, no big surprise there from Sammy. I was asked by a guy who I don't think posts at BMR. I'm sure you guys recognize the name. Poster by the name of Ronald. I'm sure you guys know Ronald from across the street. I know Reload does. But he's asking Sammy for a snow lot video. He's begging when the gets snows up there. He wants a snow lot video from you.
Yeah, it'll definitely happen. Just has to snow. Like I said, right now we're lucky that it's in the 40s. Or
Right.
else if it was 20 degrees right now, we'd have it. Tomorrow you'd have it.
Exactly. Well, moving right along, Mr. Reload. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I'm feeling that rain here in Jersey as well. We got nailed with it today, and just looking forward to the weekend. I hope things clear up then, and be cheering on the sports action.
Awesome. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Donnie Rightside. What's up, Donnie?
Yeah, what's good, fellas? Yeah, but by the way, weather is kind of crazy here for December. Thank goodness that it is a little bit warmer. But I got out of the studio Monday night, and you would have thought I was in a movie driving home in the fog. And then let alone we got fog in New Jersey, and we got drones now in New Jersey. So we're getting it from all sides over here in the Garden State, man.
That's what it sounds like. But you know what? The good thing is out here in Vegas, it's a beautiful 55 degrees. And no complaints here. There's hardly any rain. 5-10 times a year and hardly any of the white stuff. But Sammy, who knows all about the white stuff, let's talk some NBA. What do you got tonight?
Yeah, I just like the smell of it. So in reference to the NBA, you got the quarterfinal action of the playoffs or the in-season tournament. In reference to the Hawks and the Knicks, like the Hawks pretty much own the Knicks, especially in Madison Square Garden. Trae Young loves beating them and loves being the villain. Of course, I want the Knicks to win tonight, but I think the smart bet is to take the Hawks at +8, +7.5, depending on where you get it at, just based on the history and Trae Young in New York. And then the other matchup, I like Houston to beat Golden State, which then takes you to Saturday, where it'll be the semifinals and finals in Vegas. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Milwaukee Bucks waiting on the winners for tonight. Bobby, the semifinals and finals are going to be in Vegas. You're going to have any hot Uber rides? You're going to be busy this weekend? Any famous riders you got?
You know what? It's probably going to be pretty busy this weekend, not only with the NBA in-season tournament, but also the National Finals Rodeos out here. This is probably one of the busier times of the year out here in Vegas. And then it completely falls off the rails from about the 15th through New Year's Eve. It is going to be completely dead out here. That's the slowest 2 weeks of the year. I tell everyone, make sure you come out then because you're going to get cheap airfare, cheap flights, and it's a great time of year to visit Vegas. But to answer your question, Sam, the most famous rider I've ever had in my Uber, let's see, I had French Montana probably about 6 months ago.
Wow.
So that was really neat. He was headed to perform at Dre's, which is a nightclub out here in Vegas, and he just wanted to listen to some rap music. He had his whole posse, his entourage with him, so that he didn't really speak to me, but it was kind of a neat little moment there. Reload, moving on to you. NBA and in-season tournament this weekend. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Sammy's picks there. I've got the Rockets short chalk tonight, and I'm sticking with them because I did take them last week. You'll remember for the NBA Cup future to win the whole thing at +700, and I'm going to stick with them in the first game here. And also, looking at the other game, I'm going to agree with the Hawks as well, getting +8. I think that's too high of a number here. New York, like Sammy was saying, I think it's going to be a pretty good game for the Hawks here. It's a nice spot for them to at least make it close at the end.
All righty, thank you. And last but certainly not least, let's move on to Donnie. Donnie, what do you got for NBA tonight and into the semi tournament here?
Yeah, what could go wrong? I also am in agreement with both the fellas on this. Now, put out a couple videos on BMR earlier today. Didn't get the best of the numbers. 7.5 I took on the Atlanta Hawks. As you know, 8's probably across the board now is a better number. I just think also survive in advance. New York Knicks are the better team. They'll probably win this game, but Trae Young does always surprise at the Garden. Should be a fun one to watch with a high total as well. But then for the Rockets this morning, good for me. I got the 1.5, which we're now seeing 2.5s and 3s now across the board. I do think the Rockets have a legitimate chance to beat the Golden State Warriors. So I've actually been enjoying this year in the NBA, particularly in the NBA Cup. But how about this, though? Like 2 games yesterday in the NBA, 2 games in the NBA tonight. Hockey's only got 2 games tonight. Slow down right now in professional sports. Do we really start to ramp it up tomorrow on a Thursday?
Exactly. I mean, let's jump over to you. Let's talk a little college football. You know, the big anticipated matchup of the weekend, Army-Navy. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, just like Donnie mentioned, only a couple games in the NBA, a couple games in the NHL. Well, this weekend only got a couple games in college football. The big hype, of course, the playoffs, which will be next weekend starting on Friday. So next week, obviously, we'll talk about that. But this weekend, not much going on. The big anticipation, of course, Army versus Navy. And this year was 2 of the most competitive teams they have in most recent years, Army being ranked. Navy was ranked until, of course, their first loss. But, you know, of course, if you're looking for some action, I'm going to take Army to beat Navy this weekend and then basically just wait to next weekend where the college playoff starts.
All righty, Sammy. Awesome. Thank you. Reload, let's go over to you. College football this weekend. What do you got?
Yeah, I like the Army-Navy under. That's always a pretty solid play. I know the total's a little low at 38.5, but it just seems to be one I always go with. Usually it takes quite a bad beat to send that over the total, so I'm going to stick with that. There's also a bowl game, Veterans Bowl, the South Alabama against Western Michigan. And like Western Michigan, the early steam pushed the line down from +10 to +7. Still think there's value there, and I would take Western Michigan in that one.
All righty, awesome. Reload, thank you. Donnie, last but not least, college football this weekend. What do you got?
Yeah, I think Reload's right on that. Like, you look at numbers like 39.5, 38, and be like, boy, these 2 teams can get after it. You saw some of the scores they've had in the regular season. Why can't they just get to 40 points? Then every year you watch this football game and go, now let me get this straight. 13 plays, 68 yards, and a missed 23-yard field goal, which blows up the entire game. You just don't get enough of the big pass plays and the fluke plays typically to get yourself over that total. A few possessions each, maybe in each half, and that's all you get. So I do think this game is stone cold to an under as we sit and wait. The first playoff game is the 20th. So we got about 9-8 days to go before those games really start to kick off. But the Army-Navy one, maybe one of the better 2 teams that we've seen over the past 25 years colliding on Saturday down in Northwest Stadium, whatever it's called down there in Washington now. Should be a good one, though.
All righty, thank you, guys. Let's switch gears for a second, Reload. Let's talk some baseball. Obviously, one of the biggest news stories right now is the Juan Soto 15-year deal to the Mets for an eye-popping $765 million.
Yeah, I think it's way too much for him. You know, the thing I can't believe, he's basically making more than Ohtani's deal with this. He's not worth as much as Ohtani in my book. And I think the Mets just wanted to stick it to the Yankees. That's all it was about. They just outbid them and schmoozed them enough to take the deal, and that's right. It. That's all it's about. You know, he's one at bat away from getting hurt and missing 3 months of action or whatever. So yeah, I don't think he's worth it. Not worth putting that much into one guy right now.
Donnie, over to you. Your thoughts on this bombshell?
Yeah, I'm with Reload on this one. Look, we know Juan Soto is a fantastic baseball player, one of the best there is in baseball. But at that price for that long, it just doesn't make any sense. Now, also, you might say, well, the Yankees, boy, they came up $5 million short. No, they didn't. Cohen would have went to $1 billion to get Juan Soto just because he has that money and was never going to lose out to the New York Yankees. But if an injury or like average play. It just doesn't shake out at this point. Like, what would you rather have? One $750 million contract, or let's just say 2 or 3 guys that equal up to it that can help you in pitching, in the outfield, in the infield, or just other chances here? Would you see the New York Yankees pivot right away and get Max Fried to really bolster that starting rotation and say, we can still go out if we were going to spend $750 on one player, we just spent $200. Hey, we got a couple $100 million to go to spread it around the infield and the outfield to see if we can get some more of those power players. It's just wild where baseball is going at this point. Also, to Reload's point, you look at that price point, like Shohei Ohtani is a global superstar. Like, you factor in signing Ohtani, not only getting the greatest player on the planet, but how much eyeballs around the world you're getting to some more ad space. Juan Soto is a great player, but Juan Soto doesn't have nearly the magnitude worldwide of Shohei Ohtani. Like, you'd be like, oh my God, Shohei Ohtani, $700 million. Probably in the first year of profit, the Dodgers made $150 million off him, and then you got him for like the next 10 years. You're going to make money on that money. I don't know if you get that back with Juan Soto.
Emmy, over to you. Your thoughts on this?
Yeah, pretty much in agreement with everyone else on this. It's ridiculous. He's making $300 million more. He's not just making more than Ohtani. He's making $300 million more, which is more than everyone else's contract in baseball. He's making more than what teams are worth right now. So it's really just hurting baseball's product as a whole, because it's putting the little guys farther away from the big guys and having any chance to really overall compete with them. And 15 years, who's going to lock into that? Like, only legendary players stay with a team for 15 plus years. The Derek Jeter, the Ichiro Suzuki, you know what I mean? Like, only certain players play with the team that long. 15 years. He's going to get bored after 5 or 6 years. The team's going to regress. Even if in the glory they win 2 World Series, at some point they're going to start to stink. And then what's going to happen then?
That makes sense, definitely. Let's shift gears a little bit. Let's jump over to another really big announcement from our wonderful folks here at BMR. And thanks to LT Profits for the 2024 BMR Bowl Contest. So we're going to have 1,500 in bowler coins along with $200 in Bitcoin. So 20 plays. It's going to be starting on next Saturday, December 14th. And they're going to be running until the national championship game on January 20th. First place gets you 500 bowler coins, 150 in Bitcoin. Second place gets you 350 bowler coins along with 50 in Bitcoin. And then third, fourth, and fifth get 275, 225, and 150 bowler coins, respectively. Sammy, over to you. Your thoughts on this contest?
Yeah, I mean, we say it each and every week. We're about to go and cover NFL, free contest to win real money. We're all on this forum to make money and to help each other try to win money. So what are you doing? You're on the forum. You're posting daily. Go to the free contest and get yourself in there.
Exactly. No reason not to, for sure. Speaking of free contests, boys, we have one of our last and final shots to get your hands on some bowler coins in our 12th and upcoming poker event. It's going to be our last one before the big Tournament of Champions. So again, last and final opportunity to get in and get your hands on some bowler coins. That's going to be happening probably next Monday. I haven't put the thread up as of yet, but it looks like next Monday is what I'm shooting for. But Reload, let's jump over to you. Let's talk some week 14 in the NFL. How was week 14 for you?
Not a good one again. Lost my 2 picks here. I was great with everything else I gave out last week, but NFL Sunday 0-2. Falcons lost, and the Cardinals also lost. So no good. We're going to look to reset this week. All
righty, Donnie, over to you. Week 14. How was it?
I got tagged last week on sides. I'm not going to lie. I mean, a couple of them were by the nose and by the hook, which happens here. You take a look at Monday Night Football. It's like, hey, got the Cowboys, with the 5 points. They block a punt. They'll probably win it outright, only to lose by a touchdown, which was incredible, but that's what the Cowboys have been doing. Sunday was awesome profitability for me on actual props because the Miami Dolphins went to overtime, cashed a few there just by getting lucky. Sometimes it is better to be lucky than good at times, but sidewise, not so good for me. Hoping for a better weekend. We got an exciting card coming up this weekend. Also, the dreaded doubleheader on Monday Night Football as well. So extra football.
Nothing wrong with that. Sammy, over to you. How was your week 14?
Week 14 stunk. I went 2-5 in the contest, and I think it didn't really go well for a lot of people. If you look at the contest results, Only a couple of people had 6-1, and even the guy at 6-1 didn't even come in first place on the week, which again, as we always talk about, comes with the secondary part of the contest, which is winning your highest confidence picks. Of course, the easy way is just to go 7-0, and that guarantees you the spot unless you lose the tiebreaker. But shout out to Tanko, 5-2, 25 points. He was the winner this week. Then you had 3 people tied at second place with DJP, Health and Joy, and Mick J. The overall leaderboard, you got 007 with 241. Second place, Pie Mike, 239. RWD Biaco, 235. And then 2 people tied with fourth. Champ 2399, Red the Tiger 232. 9 points separates the top 5. Exciting last 4 weeks of the season, month to go, and then on to the playoffs. Playoffs. We're talking about the playoffs.
You know, Donnie touched on it really briefly about that doubleheader Monday night.
Yeah.
Donnie, you know, between the Bears-Vikings game and the Falcons-Raiders game, only a half-hour differential starts them. You know, what are you going to watch?
Yeah, I actually don't mind that because you looked at the games, you go, hey, Minnesota's a good football team. Chicago's really mailed it in at this point. Like, ooh, give me something to watch. And then it's like, well, Atlanta and Las Vegas is the second thing to watch. So granted, 2 doesn't make better than 1. Like 1 good game is better than 2, but at least you do have 2. Hopefully we get 1 good game and you're winning at least one of your bets out of one of these football games to sort of switch back and forth. But for me, doing content on these games, I love the fact that they're starting at the same time. Because again, one game's boring, you talk about the other one, and they're not staggered, like a 7 o'clock start and a 10 o'clock start. Give me them both at 8 and 8:30. We'll watch it and have some fun.
Reload. Which one are you going to focus on?
Yeah, I'll be watching a little of both, really, and I agree. You know, hey, if college football is going to have their exam weeks and everything else, why not just put some more NFL on? You know, make some light bets if you want. No one I like in those games, but I'll be watching for sure.
Sammy, last but not least, what are you going to be tuning into Monday night?
Yeah, YouTube TV does a great thing where they'll do the split screen. So I'll be able to have both games on at once, and then you just turn the audio to whatever game you want to watch or whatever you want to listen to. And then whenever there's like a halftime, you just go full screen to one, full screen to the other. But yeah, I'll just do the split screen.
Smart. Very smart. Very, very smart idea. Reload, let's jump over to you. Week 15 preview in the NFL. What do you got?
Yes, I looked at the board. There were 3 underdogs I'm going to go with. And, you know, again, ugly underdogs, but that's what December is usually about. And first I'm going to start with the Titans +5. I've got to just fade the Bengals. Bengals are off a win, and the value is a little out the window there. So I think the Titans keep that one close. Also, the Browns +4 against the Chiefs. We know how the Chiefs have been. They kind of just squeak by all the time. It's another one of these games. They'll probably just play down to their opposition a little. So I think the Browns can pull something off there, at least keep it within 3. And the Bucks and Chargers, I'm liking the Bucks in that spot too. I think the Chargers are probably going to lose a little steam here off the Sunday night game with the Chiefs. And they're looking ahead to other games at this point. So this is kind of you know, sandwich type of spot, if you will. And I think the Bucks are kind of sneaky. They'll go in and steal it.
All righty, Sammy, over to you. Week 15 in the NFL. What do you got, and what's your 7?
Yeah, I mean, it is explosive this weekend. We got one of the best cards we have on the year coming up, week 15. Starts with tomorrow, a huge divisional matchup between the Rams coming off a 45-point effort against the Bills, and what a game that was last weekend. Playing against San Fran, who, you know, maybe they got their swagger back at home, so that could be a great game. And then this weekend, you have 2 potential Super Bowl matchups. You have other potential playoff matchups. You have Detroit playing the Bills, which is everyone's Super Bowl matchup right now. You have Philly versus Pittsburgh, which are the 2 seeds right now. And actually, or the 2 or the 3 seed right now in the AFC, NFC, another potential Super Bowl matchup, Green Bay versus Seattle. So yeah, I'm excited for this weekend, the whole card. But looking at some bets, I do like Cincinnati over Tennessee. Cincinnati's a team that could easily be 8-5, but they're 5-8, just like Kansas City's 12-1 could easily be 8-5. Cincinnati's had some bad luck. They got somehow some good luck. I've never seen a team lose like that. I didn't think it was possible to turn the ball over after blocking a punt, but Dallas found a way to lose, and Cincinnati found a way to win. So they got a little luck. They've been unlucky this year. Houston coming off a bye. I like them at home against Miami. Houston might need to win at least 2 of their last 4 games just to clinch that division. Indianapolis a little bit behind them, but Houston might need to win 2 out of 4. I like them at home in the small 3-point. Carolina minus 2.5 over Dallas. Who'd have thunk that Carolina would be favorite over anyone? But Carolina at home over Dallas in the short week. And then in these big matchups of the week, I like some of the home teams. I'm going to take Detroit less than a field goal. Just take them money line over the Bills. Again, that Bills offense is unstoppable. That Bills defense is beatable. And that Detroit offense, again, right now, until someone beats them, someone found a way to beat them. Now, someone find a way to beat Detroit, and is someone going to find a way to beat Philly? I think that Philly offense is going to be too much at home over Pittsburgh, especially, again, they're going to have that home field advantage. And then Sunday night football, like Green Bay on the road going in -3 over Seattle. And then a little Monday night action, take the Vikings over the Bears, and then Vegas home underdog +3.5. You got that hook number versus the Falcons.
Mighty awesome. Thank you, Sammy. And last but certainly not least, Donnie, week 15. What do you got?
Yeah, some really good games in that 4 o'clock hour on Sunday. Certainly looking forward to those. But I'm going to lean primarily on home teams here. Took 5 home teams in the 7 and 2 away teams. Haven't really figured out in what order we're going to go with those. But I do think the Seattle Seahawks at home, hey, everybody's looking easy win for those Green Bay Packers to go on the road at -2.5. I'm going to say the Seattle Seahawks playing good football here in a nice spot, getting points at home. I'll take them there. And also the Philadelphia Eagles at home, laying -5.5 laying 4.5 down from 5.5. I think the Eagles have the juice this weekend. No Pickens at wide receiver for Pittsburgh, I think might be the downfall. Should be a great football game, but I think the Eagles squeak that one out. 5, 6, 7-point win for them. I'm also going to take, just like Sammy, Detroit at home going up against Buffalo. Now, look, Buffalo lost last week, which is a great spot for Buffalo in a bounce back here. But I just look at Detroit at home just to win the football game. I'll take my chances there. I know Reload went with Tampa Bay here, but I like what the Chargers got going on. If Ladd McConkey is back this weekend at home laying under a field goal, I'll take a chance on that. And so disappointed in Sammy here. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys with the 2.5 on the road, just for the simple fact is Carolina is playing better football, but now Carolina is a favorite. I'm not buying it here. Dallas is going to be able to hang around in that football game. Also, Miami on the road, I'm going to lay the 2.5 and take the Houston Texans there. And then the Cincinnati Bengals -4.5. I'll lean on them. Their defense does stink. I get that. But nobody stinks worse than the Tennessee offense. 6 points last week, and Pollard is banged up and went for 100 yards last week. I can't go anywhere near Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans. So we'll hope for better than what we saw last week.
Righty, Donnie, thank you. And best of luck, everybody, on all your week 15 action. And we will see you guys around on the forum.
Let's do it.
See ya.
Thanks.